a little bit used to the EMEA players. I'm an NA individual myself, and only the ones that show up on the NA tournaments and kick some butt have really
Okay, I
managed to
see, I
stand out
see.
to me. But we are going to jump right into the game right here between Luna and FreezeBomb. FreezeBomb bringing their own Red Gwen list. Luna bringing, I believe that was Fiora Pantheon.
Can a spirit fight to the death? Thinking I'll learn soon.
No, I think that's Bane Pantheon, the badge,
Oh, that's true. That's
the
true. I'm looking
badge
at it right
deck
now.
that has been released. This new expansion. And I'm sorry, guys, but Pantheon again? Are you for real? Even after another expansion, right? Added another champion. Like Pantheon really needed a champion. We feel like, because aside from Taric, which, let's be honest, was the best pairing that we could go. Like Fiora was doing almost nothing in the deck. It was just a 4-drop that staying there for no reason, like not being, not fitting the curve, because of course you have already Pantheon. In your 4-drop you have already Pantheon as your 4-drop. Now though, Vayne coming in as a 3-drop 3/4 backline champion that this deck really needed. I think it's really an insane combo with the Pantheon deck list overall, and I don't know, I don't really like it. Like, she's broken, okay, everyone knows it, but did we really need that kind of mechanic again?
I will end this.
Well, we will certainly see. We've got the Tumble is definitely a powerful card, but FreezeBomb is going to have a little bit more of a aggressive start here. Going to be able to develop a good bit of damage before Luna is only just able to develop this Lunari Cultist here. But we'll see if they can get these faded triggers off, if they can get their Pantheon leveled and do as Pantheon does, and maybe combine that with a Tumble or not. We'll see. I think the biggest weakness of this deck that Luna is currently running is that you cannot run a Vayne deck and a Pantheon deck in your lineup. That you're running them both at the same time. But it seems that it was not that scary enough for FreezeBomb compared to some of the other decks, because it made its way through ban phase, and we're going to see if they come to regret it, or if they very much show that their confidence in being able to beat Luna's list ends up being able to pay off.
Demacia sends its regards.
I'm lagging. I'm sorry, I'm lagging. So I have to.
Okay, so we still have a good number of units on Frieza's side of the board, and all we have is this Lunari Cultist here on Luna's side. Not even being able to play the Vayne here, being, I guess, scared of potentially a flock play, I imagine. Or, yeah. So, now we have the attack token over in FreezeBomb's side of the court with a good number of units, and they're just going to keep developing. One can be blocked pretty well by this pretty big Lunari Cultist here, and Luna has the chance to drop another unit, which will probably also trade well onto this board, but they won't be able to drop 5 units to block this whole board down, and Luna's going to be taking a good deal of damage this turn. Luna thinking about how
indeed.
By my spear, the gods will know war.
Luna considering their line of play here, deciding to develop the Pantheon, this barrier blocker, who they will be able to gem up at the end of this attack to start getting him bigger with Faded. I just going ahead and starting the Pantheon train and hoping to get that ball rolling.
Stand with me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry because I'm lagging, but this game, like, Luna is really being playing really, really well. The thing is, they have to survive the early aggression from the side of FreezeBomb, because of course that's gonna be the pivotal point. I think they just need to survive until Pantheon levels, because when Pantheon levels up, the slot machine can give you, for example, lifesteal, can give you a multitude of keywords that actually can challenger, quick attack, that can help you control the game. But until then, it's gonna be difficult, and he knows it, and they know it.
Now Luna has the opportunity, if they choose to do so, to equip their Pantheon with one of the improvised weapons, which can definitely provide this Pantheon with a lot of additional power and a lot of additional stats to help them punch through this board. This Pantheon's getting really quick excuse me, really big rather quickly. And then now,
Yeah, it is indeed. Like, look how big he is already. Getting +1 health, getting +1 attack, of course. Now being able to block multiple times, even with Taff, being even better now. Being able to block and trade into FreezeBomb's board. But I think that, like, FreezeBomb only chance at win probably here is just blindly going at Luna's Nexus, getting his units killed, and then having a very big arrowing swing turn.
perhaps, and this is one of the things about Red Gwen, right? Like, you can sometimes play very much like an aggressive deck, and FreezeBomb was able to deal 7 damage to Luna at the start of this turn. But now that the boards are equalizing out and not being able to draw the rallies with your Katarina, we do have Gwen on board, but it's going to be a little difficult for Gwen to attack into this massive man that Pantheon is. We're going to see exactly how these next few turns play out, because this game is about to swing into Luna's favor decisively.
Yeah, next turn Pantheon is gonna level up, and from then onwards, I don't think that FreezeBomb are gonna have many chances of winning. Pantheon level up, of course, is the primal, the first win condition of Luna's deck list, and of course, Vayne is gonna come in clutch, also empowering that kind of win condition with rallies at their disposal.
Yeah, Luna strategically keeping those veins in hand that they've had all game, just to ensure that they have the tumble that they need for at the right moment with Pantheon. And we probably, well, we'll see. Without much else to target Pantheon with, we could go for a Concerted Strike line, but there's not too many targets on FreezeBomb's side of the board to Concerted Strike. Well, now there is.
Our Gwen. Yeah, the Gwen has been developed, and you can definitely go for that kind of play with the Concerted Strikes, hoping at that point that Pantheon rolls, of course, lifesteal, because that would be insanely powerful. But of course, let's see what Luna decides to do.
Yeah, Luna probably very concerned about one of the.
What do you think, by the way, of
one of the 3 copies of Flock that FreezeBomb is currently running? With their Pantheon at such low HP, they're probably very much concerned about losing it right now. But now that FreezeBomb has dropped to 0 mana, that's not something to be concerned of this turn.
And look at that though, 0 mana, as you mentioned, means Concerted Strike is gonna come in, and let's see the slot machine of the keywords on Pantheon. And there is not gonna be lifesteal between them, but that elusive is gonna put FreezeBomb on a clock about how the game is gonna end really, really quickly.
Definitely, and we're gonna be able to heal
Next
up
turn.
our health with the regen so that it is no longer vulnerable to any sort of Flock plays.
They will know.
It's unfortunately that Tumbles is really, it costs really a lot, right? Like Tumble costs 5, so we can't actually play Vayne plus Tumble immediately to end the game. We are 1 mana short at this moment, so we can see Luna trading down the board of FreezeBomb bit by bit. That's what we were expecting. That's what is happening right now, and I think it really speaks volume of the moment. Like Luna is in full control over the game right now, and we can see clearly that.
Well, what is stopping them from playing Vayne here and then playing another Tumble on their Pantheon, going for an elusive finisher right here? I think that's exactly the line that Luna sees, and this is going to be a game for Luna, I believe. We will see exactly what FreezeBomb does here. There is not too many tools of removal sitting in FreezeBomb's hand. They haven't really been able to get their combo off. That Katarina showing up just a little too late. But yeah, here comes the Tumble. And Pantheon's going to get another attack. And he does have elusive. Yeah, there's just no way that FreezeBomb can deal with this.
Yeah, the usual bug, the usual visual bug, you know, guys. If you have played with Pantheon today, you have seen whenever you commit the thing, the tumble on a unit with keywords, sometimes the keywords just disappear just graphically on the attack. But of course, that's just a bug.
Gives us a little bit more time to appreciate the Pantheon art. See him in his full glory. You don't usually get to see that with all the elusive and spell shield effects, barrier, and all the other keywords covering him up. So get a chance to appreciate the little things. And we're going to jump into round 2 between Luna and FreezeBomb. Luna instead going with a deck that I am also quite happy to see them playing. Elise Twisted Fate Go Hard.
Ooh, that's interesting. I haven't seen Twisted Fate go hard in a very long while, honestly. That was one of the craziest decks we've ever seen in terms of power play, if you remember. Like, TF Go Hard at its prime was insanely powerful. Then, of course, Go Hard and especially Pack Your Bags got nerfed, but now, comeback of the deck, it would scare me quite a bit.
Now FreezeBomb is suffering from the exact opposite problem of which they had before. The previous game, they had a whole bunch of units, but they didn't really have any spells to deal with what Luna was developing. Well, now they have a good number of spells in hand to react to what Luna does, but not many units to be much of a threat in the early game. All right, we are chipping in for 1 additional damage here on FreezeBomb's side of the board. Luna is now set to 18, really has the freedom to do with whatever they want this turn. Maybe develop the Twisted Fate. Maybe, yeah, do exactly that.
Yeah, and now we're in a situation where, yeah, actually FreezeBomb had to be wary of not overdeveloping, like in any case, because of course TF red card can heavily punish you if you're an aggro deck. Of course, you're Luna. Play TF just to have some more value, add to add, anyway, a turn 4 play, you cannot afford against an aggro deck to not play anything on turn 4, and now we see a lot of stuff committed on FreezeBomb's side on this TF, and we are immediately denying that value with the Glimpse Beyond.
If there's anything that Luna's deck is good at, it's going to be drawing cards, and oh jeez. They've definitely drawn a good amount here, and now they have a lot of other threats they can develop. They can play another TF, they can play this Elise that they just drew, they can even go for a burst attack with the Eye of Nakakaburos if they wished, but it seems like they're just going to go for second TF and try again.
If at first you don't succeed, try again, you know?
Absolutely.
And Kiev is gonna immediately come down. Then FreezeBomb playing, yeah, an aggressive deck, but also some clutch moments, some clutch tech cards like this Quietus. Being able to immediately remove that threat that TF is at the moment.
Yeah, Quiet.
This game though is taking maybe a little bit too long on the side of FreezeBomb. Like, he's not dealing damage at Luna's Nexus. Luna has a hand full of cards. And I don't think FreezeBomb wins in the late game, honestly. I think this is a pretty favored game for Luna the later we go into the game.
It's going to depend on a lot of things, right? Like, Luna definitely has a lot of more cards in hand and has the tools to get rid of some of these threats that FreezeBomb has, but hasn't really drawn into any of their go-hard game plan either. So it's going to depend on some of the next few top decks, and we do have a chance to draw into more tools on FreezeBomb's side of the board here with this Glimpse Beyond. And these are the units that they are potentially hoping to develop and create a bit of a threat with.
Yeah, that's true, especially since both TFs have been already played. You cannot threaten a red card anymore at this point unless you have a crazy top deck of third TF. So FreezeBomb is gonna be able to develop double 3-1 Fearsome, which is not gonna be answered very easily from the side of Luna. Here it comes. We start getting some equipped units on the way, which of course, most likely, are gonna be also Fearsome blockers.
Oh, and that Pot of Pain coming in clutch, making it so that this unit doesn't die to any sort of blade that is spawned by Katarina, and now she's just going to die to a heavy metal. Very good. All right, right, so we've got the attack set up and one blocker on the side of Luna's, which is going to disappear regardless of who it blocks, and it looks like it's going to
Eaten.
be... Yeah.
Oh my god. It's gonna at least trade 1-for-1, you know, which is nice, but of course we are giving more value to the set of FreezeBomb. Yeah, we can develop the Elise. Elise is gonna give us more blockers, which of course is very, very important for us. I'm still not truly convinced that FreezeBomb can win through aggression, just because Luna has such a good hand. Honestly, I probably wouldn't attack straight away. I would use the Elise to proc the Croaker and draw into some more of my cards, because then I wouldn't really care if the opponent has to commit one flock, as he would have to use mana to kill an Elise, which anyway is not gonna do much. But this is also a pretty good play, like trading Elise with another full unit, then using the Croaker on the user spiraling and drawing into more cards. Okay, I like this line too from Luna.
Yeah, and Luna definitely sitting on a lot of power and just needs to make sure that they aren't like beaten by some sort of combo or play by FreezeBomb. FreezeBomb definitely has less cards in hand, but I wouldn't count them out of the game just yet. This deck has the ways to surprise you with the amount of damage that it can put out in one turn. If they manage to navigate around some of these tools that Luna is sitting on, they might be able to put forth a surprising amount of damage, and that, of course, is what they are thinking of currently.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult though. We see more, well, like a lot of the removals on the side of Luna. We have, of course, the Wild Fist. We have the Vengeance if anything gets too scary on our board. We have the option of developing more and more blockers. So we're not really in danger at the moment. Yes, there is the threat of the atrocity of the Arrowing on the board from next turn onwards, but right now only 9 mana available for FreezeBomb, 4 cards in hand, one card though we know that is the Reckoner, so this is not a bad spot at all for Luna. I still think the slower deck here has chances to win. The fact is, as you mentioned, no go hard yet, and that's a big problem.
Both of these players are sort of playing a bit of a waiting game. Now, these spiders that Luna's been able to spawn, both with Elise and with the Vile Feasts, definitely have helped. These spiders being able to soak up the can't block effect by the Risen Reckoner, keeping their more healthier, robust units that trade in really well, able to still block. That's definitely working in Luna's favor right now.
Here, Luna might overextend here though. Luna might overextend with the Vile Fist. The Vile Fist needs at least to be used in combat to not give FreezeBomb more chances to draw into cards. And in fact, he's gonna play Parsmade and first. Ooh, here the first Gohart is gonna grace the board, and now this is getting really interesting.
Yeah, now with Gohart as a potential threat, Luna's gonna be able to present a lot, be able to draw into a good amount of damage, a good amount of healing, and a bit of a board wipe as well if they can get that going off. And now being able to ping off this Hallowed unit, giving FreezeBomb the option to Glimpse Beyond, but this can of course be responded to with the Vile Feast that we've been holding on to, denying FreezeBomb the chance to draw into potential answers. So yeah, this is starting to look like a pretty bad position for FreezeBomb the way this line's worked. That Gohard was actually an incredible pickup.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned like no war in end, but our whole reason for our deck to exist is this deck can cycle everything, can draw basically into anything, any of his cards. So I wasn't that worried actually that it would not draw into his guard. That's basically the whole reason the deck exists. And now we're gonna be able to trade everything on FreezeBomb's side. The problem is the Arrowing next attack turn of FreezeBomb can immediately end the game if we are not careful.
Absolutely, yeah, and there's not too much sitting in Luna's hand or deck that can really deal with it, unless they draw into their one copy of the box, which they are running. That can very much counter a Harrowing play, so that might be something that they're looking for right now. Drawing into other weapons and tools like the Darkened Halberd and the Darkened Harpoon, getting to show them off a little bit in this deck of Luna's, which might actually get a chance to see some play. I have yet to see Ibaaros really do a lot of damage to anyone. That 9-drop that dies to Equinox, but we'll see. We'll see if it gets to show up. There certainly aren't any Equinoxes in FreezeBomb's deck, so that's not something they have to be scared of. Oh, speak of the devil, he shall appear.
Wait, do we have any way to give it overwhelm?
Well, it can only be blocked by creatures with 4 or more attack.
Oh, so this is either play arrowing or we lose.
Basically, yeah.
When we are not playing arrowing, this is the evil. You mentioned the Darkin, you mentioned the Titan, and the Titan came to punish us. And here it comes, the lethal by Ibaaros.
Out, Ibaaros! Just to wait, this gives them the chance to defensively harrow.
It doesn't matter. Like arrowing, like defensive arrowing means FreezeBomb never wins, and so decides to just take the damage. And this is a shock and awe operation.